Welcome to Lesson 43, the one where we turn MFA from a buzzword into a daily help desk skill. Here's the headline. Microsoft's 2024 study found that multi-factor authentication blocks 99.2% of account takeover attacks, yet more than 30% of users still haven't enabled it. The reason is confusion. SMS, TOTP, push, hardware keys, they're not equal. By the end of this lesson, you'll guide users to the right MFA, not just any MFA. 3 factors, 5 types ranked, and phishing resistance set as the default. So let's start with the foundation. Every authentication factor falls into one of 3 buckets: something you know, something you have, or something you are. Know is your password or PIN, easy, but the weakest, because it can be phished or leaked. Have is physical, your phone, a YubiKey, a smart card. An attacker has to actually steal it. R is biometric, fingerprint or face, fast, but you can't change a leaked fingerprint. The golden rule? Pick 2 from different categories. Password plus security questions isn't MFA, and that's just no attack twice. Now let's talk about the have factor in practice. Authenticator apps. They all run the same standard, TOTP, a 6-digit code that rotates every 30 seconds. 4 apps dominate. Microsoft Authenticator is your default for Microsoft 365 shops, adds push and number matching. Google Authenticator is the bare-bones classic, now with Cloud Sync. Auth wins if the user juggles multiple devices, and 1Password or Bitwarden can store TOTP alongside passwords. Convenient, but if that vault gets breached, both factors fall. Most experts say keep them separate. Now here's the ranking you need, burned into memory. 5 MFA types, not created equal. At the bottom, SMS, better than nothing, but SIM swap attacks make it a last resort. TOTP apps are a solid baseline. Push notifications are your daily driver. Just watch for MFA fatigue, which number matching helps defend against. Hardware keys like YubiKey are excellent and phishing resistant. Push these for admins and high-value accounts. And at the top, passkeys, device-bound, biometric, 0 passwords. The rule: always recommend the highest type the service supports. And speaking of fatigue, let's see why older MFA isn't bulletproof anymore. Attack 1, push spam, the trick that hit Uber in 2022. Attacker has the password, hammers approve prompts at 1 a.m. until the user caves. Defense is number matching. The user types a code shown on screen, so a blind tap won't cut it. Attack 2, real-time phishing. A fake Microsoft 365 page harvests the password and TOTP, then replays both instantly. TOTP only delayed the breach. The fix is FIDO2 and passkeys. They're cryptographically bound to the real domain, so a lookalike site simply can't use them. That's why hardware keys and passkeys at the bottom aren't optional anymore for anything that matters. Now flip to the help desk side of the desk. The classic ticket, lost phone, can't log in, and it's the second most common call after password resets. Step 1, always. Verify identity through a second channel before you touch anything, because an MFA reset bypasses 2FA entirely, and that's exactly how attackers social engineer their way in. Step 2, push them to the self-service portal, aka MS, MFA setup, or accounts.google.com. Security. It works 70% of the time. Step 3 is manual reset in the admin console, but mind the vulnerability window between disable and re-enroll, so do it while they're still on the call. And step 4, the one that prevents half these tickets, generate backup codes at enrollment, bake it into onboarding, force it. Let's pressure test that with 4 real tickets. 1, new phone, MFA broken, verify, backup code if they have one, portal if not, manual reset on the call, and always re-enroll before hanging up. 2, unexpected push. That's an active attack. Tell them deny, change password right now, and flag it as a P2 incident. 3, org doesn't enforce MFA. Educate, then help them turn it on personally for email, bank, and work. 4, can I just use SMS? SIM swap is real, so steer them to the app, but SMS beats nothing. Document and re-recommend later. Before we wrap, lock in the vocabulary. These 12 terms show up in every ticket, policy, and audit log you'll touch. MFA and 2FA mean the same thing in practice, two different factor types. TOTP is your 6-digit rotating code. HOTP is the older counter-based cousin. Push, number match, and passkeys are the modern stack. FIDO2, WebAuthn, and YubiKey are the phishing-resistant gold standard. Backup codes save the call. SIM swap kills SMS, and SSPR lets users reset themselves. Know these cold. Now, the myths. 5 things you'll hear juniors repeat, and each one gets people breached. No, not all MFA is equal. SMS and FIDO2 are 100 times apart in strength. No, SMS isn't fine. NIST is actively deprecating it. No, regular MFA does not stop modern phishing. Only FIDO2 and passkeys do, because they're cryptographically bound to the real URL. No, a strong password doesn't replace MFA. Microsoft says MFA still blocks 99.2% of takeovers, and backup codes aren't paranoid. They're the difference between a 30-second fix and a 2-hour help desk ticket. So here's your takeaway from Lesson 43. Pick 2 different factors, climb the ladder. Hardware key over TOTP over SMS. Always issue backup codes, and verify identity before any reset. That's MFA locked in. But every control we just covered can still be defeated if a user hands over their credentials willingly. And that's exactly where Lesson 44 picks up. Phishing, vishing, smishing, social engineering. The human vector. See you there.